5 new clip style earbuds, 5 completely different prices. Let's take a look.
Namaste, we're DHRME. DHRME's review music emitters.
Yeah.
That's indeed what we have here, some music emitters, and these are 2 dope
human beings.
Yes, that's right.
Now, just to kind of set the context, we have reviewed a bunch of these in the past, all linked up there.
Yeah.
But what are they?
So what are clip style buds? They are earbuds that clip or cuff onto your anti-helical fold. Again, if there are medics or doctors or biologists who are looking at this video, then correct us in the comments.
Yeah, and one thing to be aware of with these is they're really comfortable with glasses. That's one thing. The second thing is they really are a look.
Yes.
They look like you're wearing earrings. So those are a few things to keep in mind. And most importantly,
yeah,
they're never going to sound as good as in-ears or over-ear headphones. But they're getting closer, as we'll see today.
First up, the SoundPeats Pop Clip. Now, when we got these, we were like, okay, hey, hold on. These look very similar to one that we've rated very highly on the channel before, from Huawei specifically, the Free Clip. These have been on the top of our list for a long time, guys. But anyway, we're not going to get into those because we've done plenty of videos, so check those out. But as you can see, they look very, very similar. But one major difference, and one very positive difference here for the Pop Clip, is that it has a button for controls. So no touch business here, guys. And the button is actually very, very good because you get single tap, double tap, triple tap. And they're all customizable in the app. You can go anywhere from single, double, triple, and long press. And very nice to see that they've included volume. Another implementation that reminds us of the Huawei is that both earbuds are interchangeable. So you don't have to worry about which one is left and right. Just pop them back in the case. They will recalibrate and then they'll become the right and left automatically, which is a very nice touch. It's very convenient.
Yeah,
I hate having to think what is left and what is right. So cool implementation, SoundPeats. And thanks again for bringing back buttons, because that's the only one on this list that has buttons, huh?
Yeah.
Because that is a control that I personally use a lot. So it's really nice to see that you have it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, super lightweight. Like we said, they are comfortable to wear. They've got multi-point support, so ability to stay connected to 2 devices at the same time. The included app, as we saw, also includes game mode. So if you're into low latency, gaming and all of that, you've got it. And then the battery life. So advertised by SoundPeats at 8 hours. Not quite there because we've tested it and we got 5 hours and 19 minutes.
Still decent.
Still decent.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. For tiny buds, getting 5 hours plus on these buds, pretty good. There's no wireless charging, but again, par for the course for these kinds of earbuds. IPX5, so water resistance is there, but no dust resistance. Cool feature though, in the app you have this drainage function, so it'll kind of like emit, what is it like?
Sound to push out whatever water's left.
Exactly.
Apple Watch style.
So you can use them for calls, obviously. So here, have a listen to some samples.
The SoundPeats Pop Clip in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle.
All right, we have a SoundPeats Pop Clip in crazy conditions. There you go. Pop, popsicle. Test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice.
In the wind, these were horrendous, so not usable, but they are usable in a pinch for noisy conditions. So if you're out and about and you just want to have a conversation, fine. Just make sure to speak loud. What do we think of the sound, Ron?
So sound, like as we said at the top of this video, none of these is going to beat in-ears or even, mediocre in-ears, but they're getting better. These have only the SBC and the AAC support. So no high-risk codecs, which is fine actually for this kind of form factor. The bass is actually okay. I would say it's second best on this list for bass, surprisingly so. It's got okay volume, but even then, it's probably the least loud on this list, but still for me, it was plenty volume, but maybe if you're hard of hearing, if your sources aren't loud enough, it might be a bit of an issue, especially considering they're open ears. So you're competing with the world for sound. There's a bit of sibilance in the high end, I thought. And the sound really for me, once you turn on this particular toggle, which is the dynamic EQ, that's when the sound really changed for me. That's when the bass came up, everything. It became very V-shaped, and I think for this kind of form factor, it made more sense. But otherwise, if you go to the EQs, they're okay. They're not fantastic. Yeah, bass is decent overall. No complaints for this form factor. No complaints. There are better sounding open ear clip style buds in this video coming up. So these are not the best, but
a solid one that we started off with. Because we rate these buds out of 5 just for the product, guys, irrespective of what they're priced at. We rate them at 3.8 out of 5. Pretty high score. But if we factor in the value for money,
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Jesus, for like, how much are these?
$40.
40 bucks. You get everything, multi-point, buttons, you know, like
Good
decent
battery
sound,
life.
battery life, pocketable,
IPX5.
look okay, IPX5. Yeah,
Hey, we're just summarizing everything.
yeah
now.
okay. Except
But
for
yeah.
the microphone, so there's a few things we kind of put it lower on,
Yeah.
but still 3.8 out of 5 and 5 on 5 for
Yeah.
just a form factor and value for money.
Okay, let's see how the next one does. What do we have next?
We have another budget banger, the QCY Crossky C30 at about $40, right? 38.
38 to be
38
precise.
to be precise. That made a difference in the rating. And
Yes.
but just to run through this a little bit, you know, 3 colors you get them in. We got a very shiny white color.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a look.
It's a look. It's again got multi-point. My gosh, multi-point, like under 40 is like a standard now.
But, gotta say, again, just, you know, getting out there with
know.
the downside.
Yeah.
There's no pairing button, guys. So,
Nowhere on the case.
no. So the issue with that, if you have multiple devices, is that you're going to have to disconnect from the connected devices, and then it kicks into pairing mode, and then you can find it in your pairing Bluetooth list, let's say.
That's annoying. Yeah.
It's annoying. But okay, let's move on.
It's got touch controls.
Yes.
And again, only the Pop Clip had buttons. Everything else on this list has touch.
Yeah.
The touch is at the back,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Yes,
I think not a bad implementation.
Correct, 'cause
you
some
can
of the
touch
buds-
these
Yeah.
buds in different places.
Exactly.
But this one, it's like right on the back
Yeah.
over here. But
Which was decent. I mean, it was responsive, but I felt like it was a bit too responsive. Like even responsive to not me, but to my clothes.
Yes.
Because I had this hoodie on and I had a coat and I was walking about and just moving around, and all of a sudden it stopped music. I was like, huh? What happened? And I just went about, played it again. I did it again. I was like, I kept touching my hoodie or my coat or my collar. Yeah, so it is customizable, and you can customize the touch, the double tap, and the triple tap. So it's very nice to see touch controls here again.
and also the sensibility.
You got to be sensible, guys, when
Yeah.
you touch.
So you can tweak the sensitivity a little bit if you want to. We didn't.
Yeah.
But it worked.
And I think you can also disable them or not.
Yeah, you can, each of these you can also switch to not work. So not work, it not work then. But yeah, you okay, man?
Yeah.
You need a break?
I'll be okay. Rethinking my fluency in English.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, they work when they not work.
Let's move on. So yeah, like the app.
Yeah.
We got the app. There's a game mode.
Tons of extras.
Yeah, there's a game mode. There's a sleeping mode. So basically, you can disable touch control. So if you want to sleep with these buds in, you can. And there's also a spatial mode for that spatial audio goodness.
Yeah.
Battery life?
Battery life was advertised at 5.5.
Yeah.
We got just under 5.
Yeah.
Again, this form factor, happy with it.
Pretty good. Yeah.
IPX4.
Yeah.
And the case reminded me a lot again of the free clip,
Yeah.
which was the OG in this space years ago. And now everybody's catching up, but
But no wireless charging.
no wireless charging.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
Microphones. You can
Listen to our popsicles.
QCY Crossky C30. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. C30 noisy conditions. Let's go. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we now have the Crossky.
So we felt that the microphones were kind of muffled in noisy conditions, but usable.
You could understand.
Yeah,
what was
it's
happening.
fine. It's usable. In the window,
Ooh, they got destroyed. It's like a little bit of a breeze.
gone.
Gone.
Yeah. Even in the noisy test, like I could hear a little bit of the wind. I was like, but it
When the
wasn't even
cars
that
pass
windy.
by.
Yes, even that it was picking up. So definitely not for wind.
No, indoors. This is an indoors kind of situation.
Yes. And while you're indoors, would you listen to some music on these?
I would listen to some music on these. So compared to the Pop Clip, I like these better.
Okay.
Again, AAC, SBC, fine.
Okay.
It sounds a bit veiled, a lot of focus on the low end. Sub bass extension is non-existent. There is no sub bass at all. As with most of these, but this one even more, I felt like. But the mids and the highs that you could hear, they sounded good. They sounded less like tinny speakers than the Pop Clip.
Right. And you get a couple of presets, I'm guessing. In there.
You get 5 EQ presets and a 10-band EQ. So there is that. But yeah, that EQ is not going to fix the lack of bass or whatever. It's just not possible. But overall, very close to the Pop Clip, the rating, I would say.
Damn. Okay. Speaking of ratings,
Yeah.
these guys, for the product on its own, irrespective of price, we scored them at 3.9 out of 5.
Yeah.
But the moment you factor in the price,
Value for money.
value for money is a
5 on 5.
5 on 5 again.
Like amazing value for money.
I think we've front-loaded this video with some very good buds,
Yeah.
but who knows?
But there's another interesting set coming up.
Yeah.
So, Kevin,
What's up?
the Edifier LolliClip.
The one with the best name.
Do you want to protect your privacy?
Why?
Because then you need
Damn,
to log
don't get
in.
me started with this. Don't get me started with this, man. What the hell? They're like, you got to make an account so we can protect your privacy.
Give us your data.
Yeah,
So we can...
no, that'll really make it secure and private.
No. No, but other than that, it's a small little nitpick. But
Yeah, everyone wants your.
data.
Everyone wants you to make an account. That's the issue. It's not Edifier specifically. It just happens to be an example.
But all these buds so far, we can use their apps without an account. So compliments to you there.
That's good. At least you got an
Good
out.
job.
Yeah. All right. So LolliClip, the one with the best name on this list.
And the most price and the most dollars.
And the most, yeah, that's true. We'll get to value for money in a bit. But, so just like SoundPeats and QCY, these are Edifier's first clip style buds. And when these came in, I was like, holy moly, they have packed these to the gills.
Yeah.
I think the only feature that's missing is wireless charging, but for the rest, it's got it all. It's got multi-point, right? It's got a wear sensor. It's got game mode, Google Fast Pair,
Absolutely, yeah.
an app, the Edifier Connects app, right? They're also very comfortable to wear. And
Yeah.
the buds are interchangeable, just like the Huawei and the Pop Clip. Left, right, right, doesn't matter. Throw them in there. It's all good.
You did say they're comfortable.
Yeah.
But I have to not
Yes.
correct you, but add some nuance there.
Yeah.
Because these, I mean, normally clip style buds, you have a clip here, it's close to your ear, and
Yeah.
they kind of rest there.
Yeah.
These are very unique. This is the most unique clip style buds because they basically are semi-in-ears, your AirPod style, but using a clip. So if you attach a stick here, you can see this is like an AirPod, but it's a clip. So these things do kind of semi go into your ear. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And for us, they were okay, they were comfortable, but I can imagine with smaller ears, they're a bit more
Right.
closed up.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's fair to mention because you do feel them more in and around your ear than you do the others. However, one interesting feature that none of these buds have, Edifier thought, let's throw it in there, is ANC.
Noise cancelling.
Yeah. And I think the way they're able to do it, and that's very similar to why you were mentioning it's like the AirPods, because the AirPods for ANC, it's like what these guys have done, right? It's closer to your ear, so they're able to play around with it a bit more. Are they up to the level of these? No. They're doing something. They're muffling the background noise a little bit.
So like how I would describe is like when we were working in the office today,
Yeah.
there is an HVAC running.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Very
You could
light.
probably hear it in the audio, not quite.
Yeah.
But when I put this in, that goes away. But everything else remains. So like if you're talking, I hear you clear.
Very clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, not buying these for ANC, but, it's funny that they're playing around with these features. Another feature that they've thrown in here, which they're also playing around with, is a heart rate sensor and a blood oxygen saturation.
Why not? Just put it all.
Throw it in there. It's not the first time we're seeing this.
Yeah.
Right? Power Beats Pro from Beats, Liberty 4 from Soundcore, right? Some brands are dabbling with building these features in. Fun, interesting. Not the reason you'd buy it.
Also, they don't like do it in a workout tracking way. You have to kind of go to the app.
Correct.
Say,
It's very static.
measure right now.
Yes.
Then you're measuring it.
Yeah.
It's not like linked to a workout or something.
No, and you can't even select it as a device in Strava or whatever. So yeah, okay. The way you touch these is in a different part.
Yes.
You have to touch them on the bridge, the connector in terms of implementation.
Yeah.
Which I like, and they are responsive, and you can do volume controls. But my nitpick here is that you can only do double and triple tap.
That's right.
And
That's
that
right.
is all. There's no single, there's no long press. So it really confines you in the number of, permutations of controls that you can enable.
Yeah.
So not the best in terms of scheme and customizability.
Yeah. I'm really surprised that they didn't even give us a single tap.
Yeah.
Like it's fine if it's error prone. Like maybe you could disable it out of the box.
Fine.
And let us enable it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So lost quite a few points because of that. Let's get some facts out of the way. Battery life. Advertised 6 hours with ANC. We tested it. We got 6 hours, 53 minutes with ANC and on the LDAC codec. In terms of size, a little bit bigger than the others, but right.
Yeah.
Then there's IP56 dust and water resistance.
Typical
Solid.
Edifier.
Yeah. Edifier does not skimp on IP ratings.
No.
You're right. Yeah. They go all out.
Yeah.
They've done that here too. And again, you get that drainage feature like on the Pop Clip. Calls. Have a listen.
The Edifier LolliClip in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. And now softly, as more cars are coming in, pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing. All right, this is the windy mic test for the Edifier LolliClip. In windy conditions, let's go. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3.
So the call performance in noisy conditions was just okay. If you need a quick call, they're fine. But where they really shine is in the wind. And when I was testing these, like the wind speeds went beyond 4 meters per second.
That's like our threshold beyond which we don't expect any buds to work.
But these pull through for sure. So sound quality.
So all that size, all that slight discomfort, not uncomfortable, but the fact that they're close to your ear, that comes with some benefits. And these are easily the best sounding on this list. They're not the bassiest on this list, mind you. But I think whatever you can hear, again, the different frequencies, just like the QCY, they're very clear, they're nice. It has a bit of a spiky upper treble situation happening, but you get LDAC, and that LDAC, you can really hear the difference if you're paying attention between this one and the SoundPeats, for example, because all those are AC. It's got good bass, but still open ear levels of bass. So don't expect your in-ear kind of level. And pretty loud. These got like 40% on my S25 Ultra. I would categorize them as loud for the music I listen to. So then I know they're good. They're not the loudest on this list, but they're loud.
You're going to need it because when you're out, there's going to be other noise competing. So
you have noise cancellation for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, great buds.
Yeah.
Expensive. So we did rate them as well. And it's not surprised that these are the highest rated on this list, but not by much.
No.
We did our little formula math calculation spreadsheet and we got 4.2 out of 5. So pretty good open ear buds. They lost on comfort and controls mainly.
Yeah.
But they did like the basic stuff well.
Yeah, got a ton of features.
Performance was good.
Yeah.
And value for money was a bit of a problem.
But that was a problem, yeah. That really took it down. I mean, $130 is steep. There's a lot of money for this.
You can get 3 of the SoundPeats or QCYs we talked about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So 3 out of 5 for value for money. Now we got one more from SoundPeats. This is the 4th one on this list. The Pearl Clip Pro. Don't let the Pro fool you because these are $60.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty good. Well, decently priced.
Yeah.
They are lightweight. They are comfortable. But one issue that we found is that there were some hiccups with connectivity.
Yes,
right?
this guy had some issues with connectivity.
Yeah. What did you face?
One thing I faced was the left bud just wouldn't start. Like I put both buds in my ear and I could only hear audio from the right.
Yeah.
And I had to put it back in, take it back out, and then it kind of reset. So I think there is something with the magnets.
Something. Because there was another issue that I faced was that they were still connected when they were in the case. Yeah. And then I woke up the next morning and it had a low battery warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. They're still connected.
Yeah.
So something's off. Something's
The
off.
magnets are not aligning or they're
I
not
don't know
strong
what it is.
enough or
It's
whatever.
just a unit problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we have to mention it as it is, and that's what we saw.
Again, not the end of the world,
No.
I would say.
No.
But they're not working flawlessly.
Correct. Yeah. Kind of unique design, huh? Also the placement of the pairing button on the front was
Yeah.
very
I was looking for the pairing button actually.
Yeah.
I thought this is like a nice little design trim.
Yeah, no.
No, this is a button for pairing. So
Functional.
functional.
Yeah. Very lightweight case. So some very lightweight materials used here.
Yeah.
The buds, yeah, they have a look.
They have
Again, just very much, very like the QCY, I would say. Shiny AF. And again, depending on the color you get, because you can get them in multiple colors.
But just like the QCY, they also have like this kind of, what coating is this? Like a rubberized
Yeah, some silicone
silicone
finish.
coating,
Yeah.
which might actually help with comfort. Might not. For us, I'm fine with just plastic as well. I
Yeah.
used Huawei for 3 years or 2 years or whatever. And that's been fine.
Correct. Yeah. Again, these guys are also left-right interchangeable, kind of digging that a lot of buds are doing this. Again, touch controls here, guys, and just like the Pop Clip, very customizable in the app. So you got your single, double, triple, and long press. Of course, includes volume. One feature I use a lot, but
Where do you touch them?
yeah. You touch them at the front piece.
Yeah. So if you wear it like this, you'll be touching them here.
There.
Yeah.
So although you get a bunch of controls and you can do everything you like, they weren't very accurate in terms of tapping. And that may be partially to do with the piece that's in your ear. Why would you tap that? So guys, if you've noticed anything out of all of this, I think the best implementation for clip style, if any brands are watching and looking at this video,
Buttons.
please go for buttons, number one. And if you can't do that, put it on the bridge, on that connector round piece. That's the best place. Don't bother with the front and back.
Or do it well.
Or do it if you can. Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the controls.
Yeah. You got your multi-point here. You can stay connected to 2 devices. You've got an app like we just saw. There's game mode in it. There's a movie mode. You can also disable the touch controls if you don't want them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty feature-rich app. In terms of battery life, 6 hours advertised?
Yeah. SoundPeats ain't hitting the advertised numbers for us.
No. 3 hours and 26 minutes is what we got out of our tests. So definitely on the weaker side. This is probably the weakest buds on this list for battery life.
Yeah.
No wireless charging again, IPX5 rated. So should be fine for workouts. Calls. Have a listen.
The SoundPeats Pearl Clip Pro in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3.
We're at a mic test outdoors with cars in the background for the SoundPeats Pearl Clip Pro. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, this is a windy mic test with the SoundPeats Pearl Clip Pro. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. And now softly. Popsicle, ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 2, 3.
The microphones are quite decent for the price, but you will have to speak loudly in noisy conditions, and they're okay in a pinch and windy conditions. So, decent.
Yeah.
Sound?
Sound is a mixed bag for me. Similar to the Pop Clip. First of all, SBC AC, the 2 codecs you're getting with this, no high-res stuff. So I had a difficulty. We were rating each of these parameters and sound. I was like, this thing is really good and this thing is not good. How do I? So I kind of scored it in the middle because it has the best bass I've heard on open earbuds. Period.
Wow.
Right? Like on clip style buds,
Yeah.
especially. And I know that because SoundPeats with the Air 5, they had the best bass on, semi-open ear. So I know they can do this. It also probably explains the battery life because bass means moving drivers, which means more, power usage.
Okay.
But other than that, the dynamic EQ helped with sound, but I thought the mids and the treble sounded a bit, I don't know, tinny, cheap. Not bad, again, for, clip style, but if you really want to listen to music with any of these, I struggled with that. But again, I love the fact that it had bass and a lot of nice rounded bass. So it's a mixed bag for me. You do get like these kind of presets, and there's a 10-band EQ as well, which you can kind of customize and tweak according to what you like. Of course, the bass, you can only push it so far. And they have this confusingly named adaptive EQ, which is nothing but a hearing test. Okay. So I would expect adaptive EQ to be more of a, based on your surroundings or whatever. Yeah. But SoundPeats always does this, but they have it. So they've given it even on their $60 open ears. Kind of cool. But it's going to be very misleading depending on where you do it, because open ears means you're listening to everything else as well as these buds. So use that with a pinch of salt.
How's the volume level?
Excellent volume.
Yeah?
Excellent volume. Similar, I think, to the Edifier LolliClip. 40% was, for me, already loud in a quiet space. Overall, I think you would buy these for bass. Like, it's a very clear kind of thing, and the comfort and stuff like that.
These would be perfect for workouts, especially outdoors. I need my bass, I need my volume, so...
And you won't work out more than 3 hours, so that's also good.
Yeah. So, yeah, actually
perfect workout clip. What did we score it?
Yeah. We scored it for the product itself at 3.8 out of 5. Pretty solid. And then we factor in the value for money. Pretty decent again. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, yeah. It's a pretty decent set.
It's nicely in the middle of the previous one and the others that we talked about. So if bass is your thing, I think that's kind of the highlight of these buds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Then we've got... What happened? Oh, God. My privacy. Please protect it.
Guys, you want us to protect our privacy? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Because the next one is...
the Edifier Rabbit R1. I mean, just R1. So I think these are the ones on the list that you can get really in a ton of colors. I stopped counting. That's how many colors there were. So these are really for the people who want to, find one that they really like and they're picky about colors. This is it. Again, Edifier's packed these to the gills. These are one of the first, clip style that they've released. What do they have? They have a wear sensor. They have multi-point connectivity, game mode, an app. Ton of features in the app. Again, you can do touch controls by tapping them on the bridge. And again, here, guys, double and triple tap only. Those are the only ones you can customize, and you can do volume as well. But unfortunate that you do not have a single and long press or all of that.
Yeah.
So you are limited in the number of controls.
Yeah. But interestingly, all these extras, except maybe Google Fast Pair, which the LolliClip had, are there in this, which is $60.
Less than half.
That was $130. Yeah. So that's interesting.
And we'd have to say these are probably the least premium looking, or the definitely not premium looking buds out of this list. Slight Edifier branding. And they are kind of bulky in terms of the buds, also in terms of the case. But again, Edifier is clearly positioning them as the budget version and LolliClip as the more premium one.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that in the design. Battery life, advertised at 7 hours. We got 6 hours, 14 minutes.
Again, pretty good.
Pretty damn good, yeah.
No NC, but...
No. And again, Edifier...
IP56.
Guns blazing. IP56. And a drainage feature as well. No wireless charging. Again, par for the course. I think there's very few that have wireless charging, now come to think of it. This is how they sound for phone calls.
Edifier R1 in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. And now softly, pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. A mic test in windy conditions for the Edifier R1 with wind at speed on the speaker. Popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing.
Are, in terms of calls, very similar to a lot of the buds on this list. They're just okay in noisy conditions as long as you speak loudly, but just don't bother in the wind.
Yeah.
Still.
Surprisingly, the LolliClip fared well in the wind.
Yes.
And the R1 did not. So
interesting. Yeah.
Maybe $70 gives you good wind tolerance.
We're talking about like Outdoor.
Outdoor.
Wind. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Jeebus.
Sound quality.
Sound is quality.
Yeah.
Don't know. So yeah, AAC, SBC, no LDAC on this, unlike on the LolliClip. Sounds narrow, crowded, kind of for me, for like very busy music. 4 EQ presets.
Okay.
Again, not much bass to speak of. It's all right. It's all right. I would put this in the SoundPeats tier, maybe a bit better.
Which SoundPeats?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. So of course, bass-wise, SoundPeats beats this, but
Okay.
mids and highs, I think these are a bit better. Again, nothing to write home about. But I thought these were one of the loudest on the list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at 30% it was loud for me. So that's kind of my mark.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
What about the rating?
The rating is a bit on the lower side.
Yeah, it's the lowest on this list, huh?
Yeah, 3.5, 4 out of 5. Again, not terrible. Do a few things well.
Yeah.
But yeah, compared to the rest, bit lower, and value for money also, I think 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Again, value for money will change for all of these depending on the prices, but the product rating,
Yeah.
I think, should be stable.
But still, I think you're getting a solid pair, huh? So it's great gateway clip style buds. So very happy to see that these brands have brought out such great products
Yeah.
for a first attempt. So I think they've been sitting and watching the competition, and now they've brought out their own version. So I'm very happy to see this space get a lot of variety and choice.
There's another one coming up, but let's talk about that at the end of the video. Because first, let's talk about our picks from these 5.
I'm curious, what are you picking?
I'm a button of fire.
Damn it!
So I think, like, if I really wanted a very complete set, and I was okay with spending 130 LolliClip, but otherwise, for what I use it around the house, podcasts while doing dishes or stuff like that.
Yeah, you're not nitpicking on the sound. And
No,
stuff like this.
the Pop Clip, absolutely.
Pop Clip, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my pick too. Yeah, I think for the price you're getting so much, and those button controls really make the difference for me. I am very much obsessed with how I control buds and how comfortable they are, and they really tick the box for both of those.
Yeah.
But I am actually happy with any other buds on this list. to be
That's
honest.
surprising.
Yeah.
None of these are bad.
They're not bad. Yeah, that's the thing. You give me any of these and you say these are your clip style, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll roll with it. Like, I can do my workouts. They're all comfortable. They all got volume controls, which is very important for me. It's getting interesting. It's getting interesting.
Getting interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
These guys, the Huawei Free Clip, aren't as far away from these
No.
as it once was when we compared it to the original clip style buds. So, very cool.
Quick thank you to all our supporters, but especially these tested tier supporters and our Fuckman tier supporters, Paula
Rad's Panda,
and Rachel.
thank you very much.
The Soundcore Aero clips are coming in
transit.
We waited a long time for them actually to put all these together.
Yeah.
But if you're watching this video, they're probably up here on screen.
Go check it out, where we'll compare that to whatever else is out there in terms of clip style and cuff style buds.
You've been clipping it?
And we've been DHRME.
Do we?
Do we?